Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to another Update-A-Sode. This is currently February 26th, 2026. I am driving right now. I'm on Highway 394, I believe. Let me check my thing here. No, I'm on 100. I'm going to be on 394. Anyway. Yeah, so I wanted to discuss just the state of things. Those of you who live outside of Minnesota, or at least outside of the immediate Twin Cities metro area, you may have seen reports or headlines that, Tom Homan came here. They replaced Greg Bovino. He came here from, Homeland Security and Border Patrol, and he did a press conference where he said that working in conjunction with our mayors, Mayor Fry and Mayor Herr over in St. Paul, and our governor, Tim Walz, he said that everybody, agreed to a program to work with ICE to, make it unnecessary for there to be so many agents here. That's a fucking lie. There was never any real cooperation between our mayor or our governor, and certainly not Mayor Herr. One can wonder what could have happened had Omar Fateh been elected, before all of this, but it is what it is. We got Mayor Jacob Fry still, so, we just have to deal with it. Other Minnesota politics, Amy Klobuchar is pushing real hard to be the Democratic nominee for the governor's race. Tim Walz stepped down from that race and said he doesn't want to run for any political office ever again. So we'll see how that goes. Amy Klobuchar is currently a senator, United States Senator from Minnesota. She is basically the most milquetoast wimp of a fucking senator that she could possibly be. The only reason she keeps getting voted in is because the opposition is flagrant Nazis. That's it. She's the I'm not a Nazi option in fucking Minnesota politics. I fucking despise her, and anybody who follows me on BlueSky will see that. I fucking despise Amy Klobuchar. All of that said, if she gets fucking elected to the fucking primary, and she's the only fucking option against another goddamn Nazi like Mike fucking Lindell, yes, the MyPillow guy wants to be the Republican nominee still, last I checked. And he had the support of Trump last I checked. So yeah, anybody up against the fucking MyPillow guy, okay, fine, fuck it, But I want to make it clear that I do not want to vote for this bitch. Most of us do not want to vote for this bitch into the highest seat in the state. We don't want her. She is what we will wind up with if no one else runs against her stupid, sorry, pathetic, lying, milquetoast, fucking basic bitch ass. We will wind up with her. Now, is she going to be better or worse than Walz? Probably a little worse because she's got no fucking spine. And Walz at least showed some spine here and there. So that is what it is. Moving on from that, though, back to the whole ICE immigration thing. There are still over 600 ICE agents that we know of from the various groups that watch them in the metro. There are still over 600 ICE agents here. They are still very much wearing masks. They are still very much not wearing any identification. they are still very much taking people. One of the things that they did that was fucked up was they made Ilhan Omar is our congressional representative from my area. I live in Ilhan's district. Ilhan's awesome. Anyway, I wish she would fucking run for governor. But anyway, you know, we got Ilhan Omar and another one, and I do not remember the other lady's name, but she's a fighter too. But anyway, they made them do a 7-day wait before they would let them tour the Whipple Correctional Facility, which is where every ICE detainee gets taken. They all get taken to Whipple, and they get processed there. But part of the processing is, of course, torturous conditions that you have all heard about, I'm sure. You know, people going either without food or being given rotten food as their only single daily meal, standing room only in a lot of the group cells, where guys have to take sleep in shifts with, you know, no blanket or pillow or anything. No, like, we treat these people worse on suspicion of being here illegally, and most of them aren't. Most of them are just nabbed because ICE gets paid the bounty for bringing people in. They do not, sorry, I got to change lanes here, I'm on the highway. They do not have to keep them. It's a terror campaign. They're being paid to do a fucking terror campaign. You know, so they snag somebody, bring them in, and then they figure out whether or not they belong there. Doesn't matter if the person had papers showing their citizenship. A lot of that shit doesn't matter. They are, fuck Tom Homan, they are absolutely doing this to people with accents and darker skin than white. So, yeah, they are still very much doing this. It is still happening. The locals are still pushing back. We do still have groups seeking rent for people. There is a planned rent strike that I hope goes off without a hitch. Coming up March 1st, so in a couple of days. There was a really good episode that could happen here recently about that rent strike that's being handled. And I encourage anybody interested to go listen to it, because according to the presenter, I believe it was Mia Wong on that episode, Mia Wong and the Minneapolis woman that she was speaking with that is helping lead this whole thing. This is an unprecedented move. Rent strikes have happened in the past, of course, but this one has a lot of support. So I'm hoping that it goes off the way it's supposed to, which is to hurt landlords enough that they scream at the governor to do something. Because a lot of people are not going to be able to make rent, even with all of the help that's out there. We've got a lot of people on BlueSky. I follow a lot of accounts that are helping collect rent for people. One of them is known as Norm Charlatan. He's been doing rent drives. He's in league with a lot of other people that are doing rent drives to help people have rent funds. And, you know, people like him have been ordering groceries for people. You know, there's a lot of that going on still. There's a lot of mutual aid and support going on. But if you're interested in helping out a good cause, a good charity, a good effort, period, go to BlueSky. You know, look at my account. I follow some nonsense accounts like the International Space Station Piss Tracker, just because it makes me laugh. But I do follow a lot of local accounts that are doing actual on-the-ground work. Like I said, Norm Charlatan is one. Another one is Indigenous Hummingbird. And there are several others. But, you know, look for any Minneapolis accounts, or just, you know, do a BlueSky search for Minneapolis accounts, and you can figure out pretty quickly who's doing work and who isn't. The the people out there doing the work are making a ton of posts every week, and they're keeping people up to date. It's not just help fund this. Most of these people, most of the ones that I've looked at anyway, are like, help fund this, and this is where your money is going. So it's not a blind effort. I would say it's the least fraudulent thing I've seen in a long time. And it makes me proud to be part of this fucking community, where we've got people that can and will help. We've got people that, are out there doing the citizen journalism still, that are still operating Ice Watch, that are doing the hard work, to keep people informed and keep people safe. And they're still getting up in ICE's shit. This is a concerted community effort that certainly didn't happen overnight, but it's just how things are here. So we are we're holding it out. We're keeping it together. Give me just a second. Okay, and I'm back. I had to pause there and plug in my car. I'm at one of my favorite little charging spots right now. Anyway, yeah, so I also took a little break there to get onto our local NPR and tell them about Ted Lasso. So if you're in the area, or you want to pull up MPR, as in Minnesota Public Radio, you could probably hear me in there going off about how great of a show Ted Lasso is. I had to do something, and under all of this heavy stuff. Anyway, so yeah, like I was saying, the ICE surge is still happening. Well, not the surge, but the ICE actions are still happening here. There are a lot of great accounts to follow on BlueSky about it. A lot of great areas you could throw small donations to help families out. But yeah, in regards to our next episode, it's going to be on the HIB vaccine, HIB. That is a vaccine that keeps meningitis away. Yeah, the work on that has been slow going because I've had to break off in 30-second segments, 30 seconds and 1 minute segments and stuff to address a lot of the crap that Candace talks about. So, I'll be working more on that, of course, over time as I can, as I do. But, yeah, otherwise, life here is as normal as it can be, I think. The Trump administration decided to block Medicaid funding coming to our state. This hurts the most vulnerable people. It is unconscionably immoral. And, we keep getting the public stick. It's like, if they don't harm us one way, they will do it another. It is entirely about retribution. It has fuck all to do with any actual fraud happening. And, it is distressing because in our family, we have somebody that we've known for a couple of years that is on public assistance for various reasons. And they really can't live without it. They're not a leech. They have worked in the past. Their life kind of went away, that they can't really work right now. And it sucks to it sucks to see people suffer, period, but more so when someone. Now in this person's case, the partner that they're with makes a lot of money, has a good job, but how you can't rely on anything when the safety nets start disappearing. And the Trump administration, I read a story last night that they are pushing to find other ways to defund the Affordable Care Act, period. So, that this is all going on, and it's not just going on here. The Medicaid thing right now is going on here. Excuse me. Dry cough. The Medicaid thing is going on here. But they are finding ways to fuck everybody else. So as important as things are that are going on here in Minnesota, I would say pay attention to what's going on here. We seem to be the canary in the coal mine. But keep an eye on your people. If you live outside of Minnesota, keep an eye on your people. Keep an eye on what is going on. As an example, Kansas, just yesterday, I believe, or over the last couple of days, the state of Kansas they're not making it illegal to be transsexual, because that would be a step too far right now. But if you're a transsexual citizen of Kansas and you have a state government issued ID, a driver's license or whatever, your deal is now invalid if it doesn't reflect your assigned birth sex. So people are going to have to get everything. This could upend a lot of people's lives, because without that correct ID, those people won't be able to vote. You get where this is going? You have a license, but it's no longer valid. You have a state ID, but it's no longer valid. And now, in order to be able to vote, you have to go to a government office and get that changed up. Or to apply for any kind of, official state programs or what have you. Everything that you do with an ID in Kansas is now suspect if you're a trans person. That's the kind of thing that happened because everyone's attention is everywhere else. And I get it. We focus on one person in our podcast. We focus on the work of Candace Owens, and she is constantly out there doing something, doing everything, doing all the everything that she can to be the worst possible version of herself. And it's hard to keep up with even that, let alone everything else that's going on. But if I had to take any inspiration from our local groups here, our local people that are doing the good work, it would be stay abreast of everything, but have something that matters to you, that you keep up with, that you speak out about when you can. Do it safely. I can't stress that enough. Do it safely. Take the steps to set up, an alter ego online if you need to, which is, what we did from the start of this show. Whether or not you go as deep on that as I did, that's up to you. But be safe. Take the steps. Make a difference where you can, because this is going to take a concerted effort of all of us over the next several years. We can't just trust that, Vance is going to pull the 25th Amendment. We can't trust that there will just be an impeachment process that we don't have a hand in. If nothing else, just look at what has already happened. Look at the shit they've gotten away with. Look at the things they want to keep getting away with. Use that to inspire yourself to even help out. Even helping out a little can help out a lot if enough people do it. It goes beyond voting. Find a way to matter. That is what I'm saying here. Find a way to fucking matter. So, with that all said, I want to leave y'all with the knowledge that I am working on the next episode, It is taking the time that it takes, but I am doing it, and we will be back, on the air as soon as we can. If it's not in the next week, then I will pop up another Update-A-Sode, and we will keep going business as usual. That's it for now, everybody. I wish you all the best. Stay safe. Do not make it easy for these fucking fascists to find you and do things to you. Do not make it easy. All right, that's it. Thank you. I'll see you all again soon. Bye.